Imagine working 40 years, doing everything right, saving, contributing to your retirement account, living below your means, and then, around age 73, watching your account hit zero. Not a market crash, not a medical emergency, just the slow, silent math catching up. This happens to 9 out of 10 people. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why. And the single portfolio shift that separates the people who thrive in retirement from everyone else who quietly runs out. Most people approaching retirement feel a strange mixture of pride and quiet dread. They have worked hard, they have a number saved, maybe 200,000, maybe 500,000, maybe even $1 million. And yet something feels off. They run the calculations at night and the math never quite works. The money is supposed to last until 85, but life keeps getting longer and prices keep climbing. The pride starts to crack, the dread starts to win, and the terrifying part is they have no idea why. Here's what running out of money in retirement actually looks like. It does not happen all at once. It happens gradually, then suddenly. First, you stop traveling. Then you stop eating out. Then you start making choices between medications and groceries. The Employee Benefit Research Institute found that nearly half of American retirees are at risk of running short of money in their lifetimes. Half. These are not people who were careless. These are people who followed the standard playbook. And the standard playbook has a fatal flaw. The standard advice goes like this: work hard, max out your retirement contributions, put your money in a target date fund, and when you retire, withdraw 4% a year. It sounds reasonable. It sounds safe. And for decades, financial planners have sold this idea as the solution. But here is the problem. The 4% rule was created in 1994 using historical data that no longer reflects the world we live in. Today's low bond yields, longer lifespans, and higher healthcare costs have quietly destroyed its foundation. There is a reason this keeps happening that nobody in the financial industry wants to talk about openly. It is not about how much you save. It is not about which funds you pick. It is about a structural problem in the way most people build their portfolios. A problem that is invisible when markets are rising, but absolutely devastating when they fall at exactly the wrong moment. There is a name for this problem, and once you understand it, you will never look at your retirement savings the same way again. The problem is called sequence of returns risk. Here is how it works. If you retire and the market drops 30% in your first 2 years, while you are withdrawing money to live on, you permanently destroy a portion of your portfolio that can never recover. Even if the market fully bounces back 5 years later, you have already sold shares at the bottom to pay your bills. The math is irreversible. A retiree who experiences a bad market in year 1 is in a fundamentally different position than someone who experiences the same crash 10 years into retirement. Consider 2 retirees, both with $1 million, both withdrawing $50,000 a year. Retiree A experiences strong returns in years 1 through 5, then a crash. Retiree B experiences the crash first, then strong returns. Same average return over 20 years, completely different outcomes. Retiree A finishes with over $1.8 million. Retiree B runs out of money before year 17. Same money, same strategy, same market. Only the order of events changed, and it made the difference between a comfortable old age and financial ruin. The wealthiest retirees intuitively understand something the average saver does not. They do not treat their retirement portfolio as a single unified pool of money. They separate it. They build what researchers call a liability matching structure. Essentially, different buckets of money serving different time horizons. Short-term living expenses are never exposed to market risk. Long-term growth money is never touched in a downturn. This is not a strategy reserved for millionaires. It is a structural decision that anyone with a retirement account can make, starting today. Here is the reframe that changes everything. Stop thinking about retirement as a savings problem. Start thinking about it as an income engineering problem. Savings is a number. Income is a system. A number can run out. A well-built system regenerates itself. The moment you shift from asking how much have I saved to asking how do I create a reliable income for 30 years regardless of what markets do, everything changes. Your entire relationship with money changes. Your decisions change, your peace of mind changes. Principle 1. Build a 3-bucket system. Bucket 1 holds 1 to 2 years of living expenses in cash or short-term stable assets. This is your psychological armor. It means you never have to sell investments during a crash. Bucket 2 holds 3 to 10 years of moderate growth assets, bonds, dividend stocks, balanced funds. Bucket 3 holds everything else in long-term growth assets, index funds, equities, real estate. The buckets replenish each other over time. You live from Bucket 1, you never touch Bucket 3 when markets fall. This is the structural shift that diffuses sequence risk entirely. Principle 2. Build multiple income streams before you retire, not after. The most financially resilient retirees do not rely on a single source of income. They layer Social Security or pension income with dividend income, rental income, part-time consulting, or annuity income. Research from the Journal of Financial Planning shows that retirees with 3 or more income sources are dramatically less likely to deplete their portfolios. Each stream acts as a shock absorber. When one source fluctuates, the others hold steady. The goal is not one big number, it is multiple reliable flows. Principle 3. Protect aggressively against inflation, especially in the second half of retirement. Most people think the danger in retirement is a market crash. The slower, quieter danger is inflation eroding your purchasing power over 25 years. A 3% annual inflation rate cuts your purchasing power in half over 24 years. This means your portfolio must grow in real terms, not just nominal terms. Assets like inflation-adjusted bonds, dividend-growing equities, and real assets like real estate investment trusts are not optional extras. They are the structural defense against the invisible tax that empties accounts silently. Now, here's where most people get this wrong, even after they understand the framework. Mistake 1. They build the buckets, but forget to have a rebalancing rule. So bucket 1 slowly drains without being refilled. Mistake 2. They create income streams, but make them all correlated. Dividends, rental income, and bonds all dropping together in a recession. Mistake 3. They start this process at 64 instead of 54. The bucket system and multiple income streams need time to build. Starting a decade too late reduces your options dramatically. The structure itself is simple. The discipline is not. Here's what you do in the next 30 days. Week 1. Calculate your actual annual retirement spending number. Not what you think it is, but what your bank statements say. Week 2. Inventory every asset you have and assign it to one of the 3 buckets. Notice the gaps. Week 3. Identify one new income stream you could begin building. A dividend ETF, a rental property strategy, a consulting skill you have not monetized. Week 4. Meet with a fee-only financial planner, not a commission-based advisor, and stress test your plan against a 30% market drop in year 1 of retirement. The math will tell you the truth. Here is the question I want to leave you with, and I genuinely want to read your answer below. Most people plan their retirement around a number, a target balance they want to hit before they stop working. But based on everything we have covered today, do you think the number in your account is the right thing to be optimizing for? Or is there something more important that most retirement plans completely ignore? Tell me what you think the real goal should be. The answers in this comment section are often more valuable than the video itself.